Fairies, sprites, elves, imps, names given to otherworldly beings that seem to be real to some people and fantasy to others. Do you ever feel while walking in any wooded area that you're being watched by invisible eyes? Do you look behind you while you walk because you have a feeling someone is behind you, but you are alone on that walk? Are these the otherworldly beings people see what are called fairy? Creatures that seem to have shimmering invisible bodies and be small in stature. What could they be? The area we are walking in here is Roddlesworth Woods in Tockles, which is a little north of Winter Hill. It is in these woods that people have encountered strange happenings from UFOs, ghosts and the little people. We have come here today to speak to one witness who has several accounts with what are sometimes called the fair. One account happened here in the woods where our witness is interviewed.
My name is Sigard, and we're in some woods in Tockles in the Pennines, and I had an interesting experience here in 2012. I had an encounter with something very strange. I was me and my girlfriend at the time. We were suddenly surrounded by little figurettes of transparent. They look like the Predator in Aliens, but they're only about 2 or 3 foot tall, and they surrounded us and they were following us. And out of the corner of my eye, I could actually see what they were. It looked like a little fella in a long blue coat like they had in the 18th century. And I was watching them all around us, and it was just so weird because it was just like they shimmered. They didn't appear threatening, but they just appeared curious. So I walked along this stretch of Tockles Woods along the path, and they just followed us along the path. I've never seen anything like it because when we stopped, they stopped, and you could see through them. So that's my encounter with something very, very strange.
So when you saw the figures, how did they disappear?
I don't know. I think they just went into the woods and they just walked off and disappeared into the woods when we reached the reservoir. So we're walking along I think we're just south of the reservoir. And as we walked around the bend and came onto the reservoir, they just stopped following us and we just crossed over the reservoir. They were gone.
So it was just in this area?
Just in this area.
And you said one of them had gone onto the wall, which is behind you.
Yeah. And it was just like it had human proportions, like an adult proportions, but it was only 2 foot high.
How did it move?
It just jumped. But it leaped up onto the wall.
In a single bound?
In a single bound. It was, when was it? It would have been about August 2012, so it was a summer's day. A warm summer's day.
So it was nice and clear?
Nice and clear, like today.
So it wasn't dark where you could have seen any shadows?
There was no dark. It was about the same time as well in the afternoon, early afternoon, so it's just like now.
And how many other people were around this area?
There's no one at the time around, it's just us.
So just you two walking through here, they're following you about, running around you?
Yeah, they weren't running around so much as they were just watching us. Some of them they stood still and some of them moved up to follow and looking at us.
Did you go to make any contact with them?
My girlfriend did. She tried to talk to them, but I don't think we didn't have any success communicating with them, but she did make an attempt. Oh, there was an earlier encounter as well. When I first met her, on the first day I ever met her, we were at Silverdale, and across the little track around a stall, there were all these little blue fairy lights just moving around, and there was a statue that they seemed to be interested in. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I walked across the track thinking to myself, what the fuck, because I just couldn't understand it. And then they all just streaked off, turned into blue streaks and headed off into the woods at tremendous speed. So I saw that with this girlfriend, and then I had a second encounter with them here, and then I had a third encounter with them with the same girlfriend. So yeah, we went at Bolton Abbey as well. We saw the same kind of thing as well, and they were even though there were people there, they let us could see them. The people didn't notice them or see because they were invisible. They're only just shimmers, and we were really close to them. You couldn't see them if you were too far away. But because we there was one little fella, and he was just standing there, and he just stood there shimmering. I just couldn't believe there was a human silhouette there, just like Predator, just shimmering gently in that. I just was gobsmacked.
So you could see through him?
Could see through him, but I could see, as it's just like Predator, you can see through them, can't you? But you can just see a little shimmer that shows you that they're there, and it was just like that. Except it was a well below human size, ordinary human size and stature.
Were they surprised you could see them?
I don't know, because I couldn't see their facial expressions, so I have no idea. He just seemed to be around her, and after that, I never had an encounter again. That was weird. After that, my life returned to the same mundane way it had been before. But those are my 3 strange encounters.
Yeah,
and it did change my view from it, because when I first came into contact with this girlfriend, she said to me, I didn't believe, I only believed in like a mechanic scientific worldview, and there was no spirits in it, and it taught me how I was being a bit arrogant, maybe more modest, and realised that there's more to this world than what we don't know is greater than what we do know.
this one here is fascinating because you actually saw it with clothes on.
Yeah,
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
The other ones have always been see-through or shimmer, like shimmering.
But I only could see him to the corner of my eye.
Ah, right.
I just saw the shape of the black, and when I looked around, it was back into a shimmer. But when he was just leaping, it just seemed to become visible.
So you can see it better at the periphery of your eye, rather than
at the periphery. When I looked around, and for a second or two, I could see it, and it like it was letting me see it. But I didn't see its face; I just saw the back of it.